Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and right here, this is a great reminder from Digital Perspectives, Brad Combs. This is the Uphold CEO, Simon McLaughlin.
Price and trade to extremely narrow spreads. And the reason we're excited about this is it's payments, so it's recurring income, it's recurring flows, which is a much nicer business than the sort of very feast or famine nature of retail. And this is a poster child for the kind of deal that we want to do and how we want the platform to be used, because it generates potentially higher quality revenues. And we've got other similar deals in the platform. And the other thing that's significant from my point of view is it's an example of how we're plugging Uphold as a platform into a large installed user base. So the ODL platform already handles hundreds of millions of dollars of flow a year. So it's not like you're plugging into a startup and you're inheriting execution risk. So for us, it's a very exciting project. It goes live on a very tight time frame, actually. We've got the first live trades due in December. So at that point, I'll pause, Joe.
Okay, so December, what he was talking about is their ODL partnership with Ripple. Live in December. We're at December the 6th. And just by pure chance and luck, I guess, I don't know, Link 2 just added, or today, they're adding more Ripple to the platform. They ran out, and they're adding more today. So if you want to check that out, there's a lot going on. I'm also, I haven't even checked the actual number, but I was looking at the charts this morning. Yeah, we were having a little bit of an XRP bump, but the real news is this. It's that you guys, we've the hashtag free DAI eventually worked, folks. We got out. I am now back on the X platform. I'm going to go. I had been thinking about what would I post when I finally got freed, and I couldn't think of a better picture than the Shawshank Redemption picture. Now, today, to talk about it, I'm going to go on John Deaton's. He asked me if I wanted to do a Twitter Spaces. So sometime today, we're going to do a Twitter Spaces. He hasn't given me a time yet, and there will be some other people in there as well that you'll know. I think he's asking some different people. Now, then I wanted to remind you. See, this is something people don't remember. As we were uncovering ETHGate, and I was putting out a ton of video. And so my videos and other people's videos, John Deaton was collecting in his video library. His website's crypto-law.us. His video library is right here. If you click on it, and you can scroll down, and you'll see, well, what happened when my channel was deleted. It deleted the videos. See, you would click on like this Vitalik Buterin video. This never hurts to show this again. When you saw this video it would show my tweets, but it wouldn't play the videos. But now you can go back and you can be reminded of Vitalik Buterin's fundraiser.
Right. So it's not the launch that we have. So we are going to start the Ether pre-sale in a couple of weeks. So the Ether pre-sale will be an opportunity for anyone to purchase Ether. Where Ether is the internal currency inside of the Ethereum system, sort of like the XRP and Ripple.
Now, is there a big window of opportunity for people to get in, or is there just like a one-day opportunity?
No, it's something we're thinking of. It might be 45 days, it might be 30, it might be 60 days.
Okay, so there's plenty of time,
sort of an incremental thing, so the earlier you go in.
Oh yeah. So we're back. Now my first two, the thing that drove me crazy when I was turned off on X, the thing that drove me the craziest was every once in a while I would see all of these narratives being carried that we always called them out on this channel and on X. And I would see these things and the CNBCs of the world and all these people, and I couldn't call them out. And that's what I hated more than anything. Well, there were two that were on the tip of my mind when I happened to get turned back on yesterday. One was, we saw Brian Kelly come out this week, and he's doing his Bitcoin dance, and Melissa Lee there at CNBC is doing the dance with him, as they do. And so it was a perfect time to remind them and say, hey, Brian Kelly, Melissa Lee, I'm back from vacation and have been dying to ask you when you're going to do another segment on how to buy XRP, the only digital asset with legal clarity. That's a fact, Jack, by the way. And that's a legitimate question for them. Not ever since late 2017, it's almost as if they were told they weren't allowed to talk about Ripple or XRP anymore. And it just happened to be around the same time. If you remember, Anthony Pompliano had tweeted back then, in the same time period, back in late 2017, he said something to the effect of, if you think Bitcoin went on tear, wait till you see what Ripple and XRP are going to do. Okay? And now, and ever since then, Anthony Pompliano, he'll have Brad Garlinghouse on, he just can't figure out the whole XRP thing. And then at the very same time was when Jay Clayton made a visit to Andreessen Horowitz, January 2018. Very same time. Right around that same time period. It's almost as if the entire industry did a shift to Bitcoin, a coordinated shift of narrative to Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we're all told to act like you just don't get Ripple and XRP. It was also at about the same time where they had the Mike Novogratz of the world on CNBC to say, hey, you can't figure it out either? And I remember Melissa Lee's look on her face. Oh, so you don't get it either, when they were talking about XRP, and Mike Novogratz they all started towing that same line. Oh, Ripple equity, that's great. I just don't understand this XRP thing. Remember all that? Almost as if it was a completely coordinated narrative. You know, very similar to the way when FTX came out. I had never heard of FTX since 2013 to 2019 when FTX popped up out of nowhere. I had never heard of it. I had heard of all the major exchanges, Coinbase, all of them, Kraken. We knew them like the back of our hand. All of a sudden, this thing FTX pops up out of nowhere, and all of a sudden is this juggernaut. And all of a sudden has Tom Brady and all these major executives promoting it, because that too was a narrative. Nobody's ever really asked, where did those billions of dollars come from that FTX supposedly had? Now, the other thing that was in my crawl, it was just sitting in my crawl when I first got my X account back, was this. Remember when, yesterday Patrick McHenry announced he's going to retire. Well, here's his retirement. That's his retirement tweet right there. But I tagged on to the end of that what he said he was going to do, telling Gary Gensler, don't make me do it, Gary, because I'll do it. Remember this? This is the clip of him.
In February, the committee made multiple requests for documents to the Securities Exchange Commission. This is normal congressional oversight. Yet 7 months later, the committee has not received a single non-public document that was not part of a FOIA production. As I said, our patience is wearing thin. The SEC is not above the law, nor is it unique. Other financial regulators have routinely complied with congressional oversight. So let me be clear. I do not want to be the first chairman of this committee to issue a subpoena to the Securities Exchange Commission. And you should not want to be the first SEC chair to receive a congressional subpoena. Either we find a path forward where the SEC recognizes Congress as a co-equal branch of government and is responsive to our oversight duties, or my option is to issue a subpoena.
So here he's acting like it would make him some kind of rebel to subpoena Gary Gensler, who has completely ignored the law and completely ignored Congress and it's not Gary's first rodeo either. Now, let's not forget, you remember what was his name, Representative Byron, the guy that brought up the guy that brought up the Russia thing and about Gary running the campaign for you know who and what his involvement was, that classic, folks, I got news for you. These people, they don't care about the law. And it's not just subpoenas. Until you start seeing some of these bad guys go to prison or worse, nothing's being fixed. And I was just telling Patrick McHenry, with all due respect here, don't do the coward move and retire in style and not do something about this, because that is the coward move. And I'm talking to you too, Tom Emmer, and I'm talking to you too, Warren Davidson. Warren Davidson, you're a military guy. I know you're not a coward. So where you at? I like this tweet. Dark Defender, DAI return and start of AltSeason at the same time. Wow, both welcome back. We're together strong. I like it. Dark Defender was my greatest defender. He had a hashtag free DAI on his charts, for crying out loud, and now he has a DAI is free. And he's got a road to all-time high. Both he and ETHGate are positive this morning, and I like it. He says the coffee even tastes better. And I have mine here. Here's a sip. XRP is eyeing a new all-time high. And then ETHGate came in. He said XRP dynamics of XRP, whatever those words are. Target 27, I will not stop. Explore the latest analysis. Now what XR seems poised for 100% candle. So these guys are seeing something in these charts, but look at this. This person says, when do you predict this will happen? In the next 2 weeks max? What? Is he talking about this in the next 2 weeks or this candle? I think the candle. Okay. Finally, I want to finish with this. Stuart Alderati tweeted it out. There was a hearing yesterday. Valerie Chapinick, who was in charge of I call it the fake FinHub, because I don't think the FinHub's job was ever to help anybody in fintech. I think it was to create files on all the companies that came to see them. And she was one of the core people involved in ETHGate. And so just sit back and enjoy this clip. Kudos to Tom Emmer. This is great.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thanks to our witnesses for joining us today. When Bill Hinman was the director of the SEC's Division of Corporation Finance, he gave a speech on June 14th, 2018, entitled Digital Transactions, When Howie Met Gary. In this speech, he famously discussed how tokens can morph from securities to non-securities, and he stated that Ether is not a security. Ms. Panik, you reviewed and commented on drafts of this speech, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
When reviewing a draft, you said that providing, quote, less detail in the speech was better because the concept of a token morphing from a security to a non-security was a new concept and would generate a lot of discussion. Do I have that correct?
I believe so.
So you thought...
Man, it sucks to know that you've been busted in a big fat scandal and lie. That's the look you're seeing on her face.
SEC should give less clarity to the market rather than more. I understand you thought the token morphing concept would generate a lot of discussion, but when the industry complains about a lack of clarity, I see it was a deliberate policy preference. Does the current SEC chair share that view?
So I can't really testify about the current chair's view. What I can say is that the determination whether any particular asset is a security is a facts and circumstances based determination. And what I do as the director of FinHub with my staff is to provide the facts to the folks at the SEC who are making that determination. And it's typically going to be the division of corporation.
What she means is, what I do is I build the file on all these companies that come in, and then I turn those over to the enforcement division so that they can decide who to go after.
Finance.
Reclaiming my time, because that's a perfect segue. Has FinHub issued any guidance since Chair Gensler took office to clarify how the securities laws apply to crypto?
So as I mentioned, FinHub's role is really to be a subject matter expert. So
Reclaiming my time, ma'am. I'm asking a very specific question. Has FinHub issued any guidance?
FinHub typically gets involved with other divisions and offices at the agency who are issuing statements?
Reclaiming my time, I take the answer is no, because it is no. It seems to be enforcement through rulemaking through enforcement action. In his speech, Hinman announced that Ether was not a security, is not a security. Is that your view today?
I can't comment on any particular aspect.
Boy, this agency really is helping the American people, aren't they? How many people have made an investment decision out there about whether to invest in Ethereum while these assholes won't even tell you what it is? How many years has this country been put through this? These people have no business in running anything, much less a federal agency. There's nothing good about these people. These people ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Well, just to back up for a second, you provided feedback on the speech, and so did Brett Redfern, who was then the director of the SEC's...
Who is now one of the people at, I think he's like an advisor at Securitize, by the way. Look it up.
Division of Trading and Markets. Yet first the SEC argued in court that the speech was Hinman's own personal opinion. Then the SEC...
And then they lied about it and changed their tune.
He argued that the speech was the opinion of only the Division of Corporation Finance, which Hinman led. But why would people across the SEC, from FinHub to the Division of Trading and Markets, comment on a speech that has the views of only one person or only one division? That doesn't make any sense.
I hope you can appreciate that I can't comment on pending matters that are in litigation or investigation.
Wait, does that mean that Bill Hinman is under investigation? Great question.
Okay, fair enough. The Southern District of New York even called the...
He left it alone, almost like he knows he's almost like he took it that way.
SEC's arguments hypocrisy. That the SEC would argue that the speech is not relevant to the market's understanding of how the SEC will regulate crypto, while it's a fact that Hinman obtained legal advice from SEC counsel in drafting his speech. The court said SEC is adopting its litigation positions to further its desired goal and not out of faithful allegiance to the law. That is what all of us in Congress have seen. The SEC is not adhering to the law. That's why it keeps losing in court. Does the chairman of the SEC tell you to adopt positions to further a specific goal, his own personal goal, rather than allegiance to the law?
Again, I can't comment on any matters that are pending in litigation, but I will say that
I do appreciate it. I reclaim my time. I think you answered the question.
I would say that she would be a great whistleblower, but she's been involved in all this ETHGate stuff from day one, integrally. And, Hester Pierce, she just doesn't have the guts, apparently. Now, in DAIXRP.com today, what we're going to talk about, if you hadn't figured it out yet, there is a coordinated effort to destroy this country from within. It involves crypto, it involves, you name it, all kinds of policy in this country. It's a coordinated effort. I believe it's a decades-long coordinated effort. I believe we are under complete attack. It's not an attack where somebody wants to invade our country. The plan is destroy us from within. How do you do that? Well, if I was going to do it, I would blackmail our politicians. I would bribe them. We're seeing a lot of that right now, aren't we? I would infiltrate our businesses, our law firms, all that stuff. But there is a plan, and we know what the plan is. It's very specific, and it involves certain countries that you've heard of. There's a thing called United Front 101 that actually describes the plan. Now, we're going to talk about that in DAIXRP.com. And I've also I created a Telegram in the group, and I just reposted the Telegram. So if you join today, the Telegram should be close to the top so you can see it. You just click on the link and you can go in there and join, and that's where a lot of discussion is going on as well. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. DAIXRP.com. If you're interested in finding out who is trying to destroy your country from within and who inside of your country is helping them, a lot of people need to go to prison, if not worse. Thanks for listening.